Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from and when you're watching this video. Today we are going to be creating a photo manipulation, something similar, something related to basketball, and this time it's not 10 minutes, right? It's just we're going to just be flowing along with the way it comes here. So I have three images that I downloaded right from Envanto. This particular image, this particular image, and this particular image. This is the main subject. I want to put this guy in this particular court, then with one of these guys trying to like attack him, then probably like a Nike or just a tagline that makes sense, right? So the first thing I want to do is open a new layer, open a new canvas. This time our width is going to be 4,000 pixels, our height is going to be 5,000 pixels, your resolution 300, your background color white. Yeah, this is exactly what I want. Then the first thing I want to then do is bring in this image. So I'm just going to drag this here, right? Then I'm going to enlarge this like this, bring this up like this, right? Now what I want to do is, I don't need these guys here, so first of all I want to duplicate, Ctrl J, yeah, then rasterize the layer. So I want to just do a quick selection that's let's use lasso tool to just select the father and um, the father and the son, and with their shadow as well. Then go to generative fill. We have to make things very easy for ourselves. So I'm just going to type in remove and press enter, and I will allow AI to do its thing. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this new generative fill, and also I'm enjoying my new system. Although it's not really a new system, I got it like 2 months ago, I think. Yeah, it's just I'm not really a fan of displaying things, but it has been a game changer for me learning motion graphics and stuff like that. So yeah, for in case you want to know, it's an ASA Predator. Yeah, it's an amazing system. Phew, very clean. So it has removed image, you can see. So the next thing I want to then do is bring in the other guy. We are just going to speed through this tutorial, but also not spend too much time. So I'm going to open with Photoshop 2024. I'm currently using Photoshop 2024 courtesy of File CR. File CR, you can go to File CR, and this particular Photoshop 2024 has Neuralink. It has neural filter, and AI generative fill and Adobe Firefly. Everything is 6.3 gig, so you will need torrent to be able to like download it, like torrent downloader and stuff. So this is why I got it, and you will need also to have like an account with Adobe. Although it is pre-activated, all you just need to have is an account. You don't need to like, don't worry, it's straightforward and it's easy to understand. Anyways, this is the guy I want. So to select the guy, I'll just come down to object, select the guy, and it's going to help me select. AI is going to like help me select it like that. Then I'm going to take my polygonal lasso tool, and then I'm going to zoom in to do some other forms of selection. I'll just try my best to see some other parts that was not selected that I would like to select. So just quick selection, just something rough, not too serious, like that. You know what, I'll just take out time to like go through this. Anyways, I have selected it, and to perfectly select it I can just go to select max, and yeah, it's going to give me this. And what I want to then do is I'm going to check the contaminate color so that it can save this selection into a new layer with a new layer mask. Then I'm going to play around the selection, the shift edge, the contrast, just play around it and press OK. Now you can see that it is separated from the background, so I can just right click and apply layer mask, then drag this into the background, right? Something like this. So this is what I'm going for, right? So I want the guy to be big but not too big, but that way is I want to like make sure this is actually large. So I hold down Alt and bring it up like this. Exactly. So yeah, this is what we're working with as our background. Let's turn on the guy. Let's call him B-boy. So I'm going to make him slightly smaller. Something like this works. Yeah, something like this works. Don't worry, we'll add all those shadow and stuff. Right, so let me just close this. Then we are going to bring in the other guy as well. Open with Photoshop. And yeah, this is the guy we need. So I'm going to object select, object selection, then just select the guy, and AI will do the rest. All right, it has selected it, or it has selected the character. I'm going to zoom in to make sure that no part is off, kind of. All right, just make sure your selection is clean. Like it's not going to be perfect, but just try to make it clean as possible. Right? Yeah, as clean as possible. Because the beauty of a design is in the little details, and that's something I learned in the hard way. Because I was always trying to like rush things, like I want to create posts and stuff, but now I take my time. I prefer to just post twice a week, and they are good designs, than post every day, and it's just rushed work that people can easily see my mistake. No, I mean, there's no design that doesn't have any mistake, but it should be very minimal. And to have minimal mistake, you would have to spend time on your design. Like you need to spend a lot of time on your design. So yeah, now that we have this, we can then select and max. And as usual, after doing all those stuff, you can come to refine air. It's going to refine the air. Yeah, something like this. Then we can press OK. Right, apply layer mask. So this is the guy here. We can then bring him inside our design. So what I want to then do is I want to just flip him. So transform, flip horizontally. So it looks like it's actually coming, facing him from here. Yeah, something like that. So I'm going to just push both of them like this. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we are not done, but I mean we are just moving little by little. So we can call this B-boy 2. All right, so we have this and this, right? And the next thing we want to then do is we want to start applying some form of shadow to the guys. But first you need to know where your light is coming from. That's when you'll be able to like know where your shadow is going to be. So as you can see, this this particular basketball rim, or I don't know what they call it, I'm not really a basketball fan, but this particular basketball basket and the stand, right, you would see that the shadow is moving towards this side and not the back, and also there are some shade at the back as well. So it seems as though the light is not, it's at the top, right, but towards this side, right, and the light is coming down like this, so the shadow is going like this. So that way our shadow will also be going towards this side, right? And what we're going to then do is this, because they are already two characters, right? What I like to do, like I always say, there's no single way to like achieve anything in Photoshop. There are several ways to achieve it. So what I will do is I'll Control J to like duplicate both layers, then merge the layers together so it become one single layer, right? Now this single layer, Control J again, and I'll call it shadow. So this is the shadow. Then I'll go to image, hue and saturation. I'll make it thick black like this. Then I'm going to use my, what's it called, distort to okay, first off, let me just transform and flip horizontally, yeah, something like this. Then after flipping horizontally, I'm going to then use my distort tool to like distort the whole thing, something like this. Just it's not going to be perfect, but it's light. Just find a way around it that can really make sense. Yeah, so I'm going to work with this. I don't know how good it is. I'm going to work with this. Don't worry, I would bring everything down here. Then when I bring it down here, I'm going to then apply blur. Let's apply motion blur instead of Gaussian blur. The motion blur should not be too much. Then I will then apply Gaussian blur. This is my own way of doing things though, but yeah. So yeah, this blur is going to be here. Then I'm going to sometimes you can use overlay, soft light, but you have to monitor the existing shadows there to make sure that they are properly it's properly blends, right? So for that, I'm going to just work with this like this, just ensure that it properly blends with the existing shadows, right? So now that we have this, we will then create a layer mask and go to the point that needs to be removed, like all those points on this side, right, that that normally it would not really show. This side, you can see that stuff on his leg, right? Don't worry, we'll adjust it. So at the moment we have this shadow. Yeah, we have this shadow. So I'm going to just delete this since we don't need this again. We have this shadow, and before we go on, let's quickly just adjust this guy's leg. This bluish, we removed him from a very, very thick blue background. So I mean, we tried our best, but we're also rushing, so that's why we are having this. But never mind, you would know that even after we are done, we would still add our usual blur to the edges so that it can blend well with the background. Yeah, so far we are looking good. Now while we have this here, you would notice that this guy's body is not, doesn't relate with this guy, and this guy does not relate with the background. So one way I do this is I just choose the guy, go to image and match color. So I match color, I select untitled, which is our untitled name. Then for the layer I want to match this guy's color with, I choose father and son basketball court. And you can see that it has given it this greenish vibe. So then you can then play with this, reduce the color intensity or increase it, fade it a little bit, just play around it till you are satisfied with what you have. I think I need to turn off my glasses. Is deceiving me. So we can, all right, now that we have this, right, let me see before and after. Okay, let's see how this would look. Match color, untitled, father and son, fade. All right. Add some intensity to this. Let me zoom out and see how I'm feeling about this. All right, we are still going to play around. We are still going to add some loops and stuff so the color can blend well. But for now, let's just work with this. So the next thing we want to then do is this. We want to add light and shadow to the players, right? So the first guy, we're going to create a new layer and call it light. Clip it to the guy. Just make it, light like this. And as usual, we said the light is coming from this side, so I'm going to make this large kind of, and just place this like this. Just place this like this, like this. So soft light, create another layer, call it shade or shadow. We're working with black for this. And I mean, even if there's a bit of light around the surrounding, the fact that this guy is close to him, the guy is going to be reflecting his shadow. I mean, he's going to be bouncing off his own shadow on the guy's body. So for that reason, we'll be having some form of shadow around here. It's not going to be as much as this, but there's some form of shadow around here, right? So make sure it is soft light, then you can add or remove like so. Okay, so for this other guy, we're going to be having some form of shade around there as well. So create a new layer, call it shade, clip, then let's play around this. Just just play around this like this. yeah, something like this. Then soft lights, can reduce it slightly, reduce the opacity and then we can add some form of light to the edges since its body is still, you know, just some slight form of light. Yeah. Then the next thing I want to then do is beneath the guys we'll add another form of shadow, just so that it looks like they're actually standing on the cut and not just a random place, right? Okay, I used white. Then also we can add shoe. The shoe would need some form of shade as well, so we can then have that feel of, you know, it's been actually on the ground, you know. Yep. So before we continue, this particular background, let's merge it together. So this particular background, right, we're going to duplicate it, Ctrl J, and the top one we're going to add our Gaussian blur to it. So, and we don't want the Gaussian blur to affect the ground, so we'll just create a layer mask and paint across the ground so it doesn't affect, the blur does not affect you know, the ground. So now that we have this, the next thing we want to then do is play around the Gaussian, play around the edges using the blur tool. Just play around it like that. Yeah, so just play around this, blur out any part of it that's that you feel needs to be blurred out. And yeah, we currently have something very cool. This shadow, we're still going to reduce it a little bit. You know, just play around it as it is. So this is just a random design that I thought of that I feel we can do. But before we continue, let's add some color lookup. So go to color lookup, sorry, go to color lookup, then I'm going to test out some things. Okay, I do not currently have some color lookup. That is serious. All right, so what I'll do is delete layer. Let me just quickly save my work. I'll just call it basketball practice. Yeah, so let me just quickly check my color lookup, and right, so I've seen my color, I've seen my this my loot. So I'm going to copy everything, Control C. If you need the loot, I'm going to share the link as well. Control C. Then when you copy it, just go to your program files and go to Adobe, look for Photoshop. Then under Photoshop, look for presets. You'll see 3D loots. This is where you're going to paste it. Replace, yeah. Okay, we're almost done. I mean, it's not like a serious photo manipulation. It's just something very simple that we can do personally. Now that we have that, let's try and see if it would have loaded up. No, I think we would have like turned off our Photoshop. So I'm going to like restart my Photoshop. Okay, strawberry letter. All right, so let's open our file. Okay, this is where we are at the moment. For some reason, I feel this ground should be darker. So to do that, I'm going to add just something like this. So for our color lookup, go to color lookup and you then see, yeah, exactly. All right, you can see already that this has some amazing, I want something totally different and crazy color, right? I don't want something common. So I think I'll go with something like this for the first color lookup, then open another one. Let's try what is it called? There's a particular one I like using, Foggy Night. Yeah, so then for this I'm going to use this. So I'm going to use this. I like the vibe it is giving, right? Then let's add one more. Yeah, I like the vibe it is giving me. So now that we have this, we can then bring in our text. For our text, I want something very, very nice. Let me see. Let's say just, if we say just do it, I mean it's too common. So we can just say think of a phrase. Sports arena or something, or game arena. I don't know, I just need something that can be in 2 lines. All right, so let's just go with that. Probably when you're doing yours, you would like have an idea to use or like a name to use or something like that. So but this is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to like tilt it just slightly. So I'm going to have it like this, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to bring it just behind the guys like this. Yeah, something like this. Game arena. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Game arena. So I won't leave it like this. I want to close it up, then Control J. As usual, my okay, let's just put for the love of basketball, and we can then reduce the size to like 48. That's too large. Okay, for the love of basketball can be somewhere here. Now this game arena, we want this thing to be at the back. So this is our game arena, and I'm going to just zoom in, select this part. I'm going to make this, I'm going to rasterize this, then just cut it off and deselect. Then I can add some form of blur to it so that it blends well with the background. Yeah, something like this is good. So game arena for the love of basketball, right? And we can then bring in some other stuff like your curves, you just play around it. For your curves, you can, what am I doing? Make it bold, dark, depending on what you are going for. But I'm not going to make it too dark, right? I have like an idea in mind. Then before I continue, I'm going to bring in my logo. Yeah, so I have a new logo. I hope this one lasts. Yeah. All right, so we have this guy playing this guy, and this is not where it's going to finish, right? So when you're done, you can then select the first layer, go scroll down to the last. Let's do it again. Select the first layer, scroll down to the last, select the last layer, holding shift, then Control Shift Alt E to make it a singular image like this. Then you can go to your first. You can even, let's check out neural filter and see what we can achieve there. All right, so you can see that it has some other stuff, some stuff like skin smoothing, makeup, blah blah blah, like that. I mean, you can play around this. This is not what I'm going for actually. What I'm going for is camera raw filter, but that one you can check it out if you're working on like portrait and stuff like that. So for this one, I want to bring down the exposure a little, bring down the contrast a little, increase the highlight. I want to have this kind of GTA kind of vibe, right? Then add some crazy texture to it. some crazy clarity to it, like crazy clarity. You understand that kind of vibe? Give it some crazy vibrance, right? Yeah. Then I want to add my favorite grain. Like have let it have amazing grain effects, right? So that's this very amazing grain effect. You can add vignettes if you want. Just like so. Yeah, I'll go back here. So this is our final piece. I'll press OK. So from this to this, you can see from this to this. I mean, it's a very rough work, but it's a nice one. All right, so save your work and share with me, if this resonates with you. I'm going to share this PSD file just so you can play around with it and stuff like that. So see you next time and have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment.